The house was too quiet. The ticking clock on the wall seemed louder than their breaths. Jimin sat stiffly on one end of the long leather couch, his hands folded nervously in his lap. Jungkook, on the other end, scrolled through his phone with a blank face, acting as though Jimin wasn't even there. Jimin stole a glance at him. His husband, someone he barely knew, looked even colder under the dim lights. His sharp jawline, the way his brows furrowed in concentration, and the way his lips never softened into a smile, it made Jimin's chest tighten. "Jimin," softly, "do you want me to make tea?" Jungkook didn't look up. "Jungkook." Flat, "No need." The words felt like a slap. Jimin lowered his gaze, clutching his own fingers. He hated how small he felt, like a stranger in his own home. Jimin moved quietly, boiling water for himself. His throat was tight, and he needed something warm to stop the ache in his chest. He didn't notice Jungkook leaning against the doorway, watching silently. For a moment, Jungkook's expression softened. Jimin looked delicate under the kitchen light, his soft brown hair falling into his eyes as he poured tea. Jungkook's gaze lingered on the curve of his lips, the pale skin of his wrist when he reached for a cup. But the second Jimin turned, Jungkook's mask returned. Jimin flinched slightly. Jimin, nervous. "Oh, did you want some?" Jungkook, cold, "No. Don't trouble yourself." He walked away, leaving Jimin alone with the quiet hum of the kettle. The bed was big, too big for two people who felt like strangers. Jimin curled up on his side, facing the wall, hugging the blanket tightly. He thought Jungkook had fallen asleep, but his husband was still awake, staring at the ceiling. Jimin whispered to himself, thinking Jungkook couldn't he? "Jimin, I don't know how to reach you." The words pierced through Jungkook's chest. He shut his eyes tightly, pretending to sleep. He didn't understand why the small, broken voice of his new husband made his heart ache. The next day, breakfast was silent. Jimin placed food on the table, carefully avoiding Jungkook's eyes. Jungkook picked up his chopsticks but paused, noticing the extra effort. The rice was perfectly cooked, the side dishes carefully arranged. He could tell Jimin woke up early just to prepare all this. Jungkook, quietly, almost unwillingly. "It's fine." Jimin looked up, surprised. Jimin, confused. "What is?" Jungkook, hesitant. "The food." "It's fine." Wasn't much, but for Jimin, it felt like the first crack in Jungkook's icy wall. He smiled faintly, the corners of his lips trembling. "Jimin," softly, "thank you." Jungkook looked away quickly, annoyed at himself for even saying it. His chest felt warm, and he hated it. Jimin sat with a book in his lap, pretending to read, though his mind was far away. Jungkook entered, loosening his tie after work. Their eyes met for a second before Jungkook looked away. But this time, he didn't walk past. He sat down, not too close, but closer than yesterday. The air between them was thick with unspoken words. "Jimin, nervous but brave. We don't have to hate this, you know. We could at least try." Jungkook's jaw tightened. His heart was racing, but he kept his voice flat. "Jungkook, don't expect much from me." Jimin's smile faltered, but he nodded. "Jimin, quiet, I never do." Something inside Jungkook twisted painfully. That night, as Jimin drifted into restless sleep, Jungkook found himself awake again, staring at the fragile figure beside him. He reached out, touching Jimin's hand, but pulled back at the last second. For now, walls still stood tall between them, but cracks were forming, and cracks eventually break.